One of my high school friends used to say that I hated myself. He used to say that I was too harsh on my body, that I didn't need to do all of this stuff, that I was obsessed with health. My dad used to say that I was too disciplined and it was detrimental to my relationship with my family. Everyone used to say that I had an unhealthy relationship with myself, that I needed to relax, to chill out, to eat some junk food, to sleep in on weekends, to party a little, drink some alcohol, stop going to the gym so much. But you see, nature didn't give me much. I'm 5'5", at 22 years old I still look very young, so people think I'm 16. In high school I used to have social anxiety because I didn't even speak the local language. I was constantly brain fogged, I couldn't focus in class, I couldn't put out sentences correctly, especially not in French. But guess what? I've got 4 functional limbs. I can walk, I can run, I can lift weights, I can swim, I can do whatever I want, if only I had the discipline and the will to. And God, I got some. Yes, I do wake up at 7 a.m. every single day, including weekends. Yes, I go to bed early to get 9 hours of sleep. Yes, I take 2 minutes of cold shower, which is not comfortable every single morning. I have to go to the gym and lift weights. I have to do this and that. I eat clean. I don't eat junk food. I don't eat sugar. But guess what? This is why I love myself. This is not a sign of me hating my body and wanting it to be a different thing. No. Because I love myself, I love my body, I love my gut microbiome, I love every single bacteria in there. I love my pancreas, I love my liver, I love my adipose tissue, I love my muscles. This is why I'm doing all of this stuff. It's not because I hate myself. People don't realize this, but when some fat damas who is at 40% body fat, who is eating a pizza from 7-Eleven or something like that, is telling you that you hate yourself because you try to be disciplined, you try to eat clean, he's a fucking dumbass. He's the fucking dumbass. It's not you. I had the same problem. Everyone around me was saying that I hated myself. While every single person had brain fog, couldn't focus, couldn't put out more than 2 sentences in a row. And I can do this in a foreign language. Je peux parler français là. Je parle français. Я говорю по-русски. Ich glaube, ich kann Deutsch sprechen, aber mein Deutsch ist nicht gut. I don't really speak German. I can just put out some sentences, but Russian and French, they come out just like that. You see how I can say things now? My brain is a machine. And I could get into a very prestigious engineering school in France. I came here from Russia when I finished middle school. I had my high school in France, and just 3 years later, I got into a university and grinded through it enough. And even though throughout most of my life, throughout middle school, high school, teachers used to say that I was not good at math. I couldn't do algebra. I literally sucked at algebra, and now I'm getting a master's in mechanical engineering. This is how far I went. And I'm lifting weights consistently, and I'm eating the cleanest diet in my entire fucking campus. I can bet you that I'm yet to find a student who is eating cleaner than I do. I don't have junk food in my home. I have 0 junk food, 0 added sugar. I would have never gotten this far if I didn't respect my body. This is very important. Respect your body. This is like the baseline of eating healthy, of exercise, of anything. And I've only gotten this far because I love myself more than anything else in the world. I know it sounds like my ego is the size of a Chinese spy balloon, and maybe it's the case, but this is what got me this far. This is what got me to be social, to be good at speaking with people. People actually like me more when I love myself. And this should be like the baseline of like living a life 101, but most people don't fucking understand this shit. You see, people think that stress is bad for you, and that is true. Chronic exposure to stress as a neurological condition is bad for you. But our body lives through having acute stress. Our body exercise is literally stress. Eating fiber, eating low sugar is stress. You know what the best food for your body is? It's just plain sugar. Like, from the standpoint of evolution, we crave sugar, fat, and salt because these are the fastest accessible nutrients. These are the easiest to digest. But fiber is hard. Fiber makes your intestines work, but it's necessary to feed the gut bacteria. It's necessary for a healthy body. And the same goes with exercise. Lifting weights is a stress. Cardio is a stress. Even standing up is a stress. But it is absolutely necessary for you to survive longer than 30 years on this planet. People don't realize this. Putting stress on your body, controlled, high quality stress, is beneficial. Being disciplined is not a sign of hating your life. Being disciplined is a sign of extreme love towards yourself, your body, and your future. Because these are the things, if you think about it, these are the only things that matter. Your future, your family, even if you think in a broader sense, your family, your career, all of that stuff, it only matters when you're healthy, when you can support your family financially, when you can run around with your kids, when you can show them the world, when you can lift your wife during a wedding. I hope she's not 300 pounds, by the way. So this is the only things that really matters. And especially if you're young, what the fuck else can you do with your life? Like, what are you gonna do? You've got so much free time. You're a student. You're probably watching some kind of a Netflix show in the evening. You're brain foggy all the day. What can you put your effort in rather than lifting weights, being healthy, eating healthy, and sleeping and socializing? This is all that matters. And maybe building your business empire if you're advanced. And after years of hard work and discipline, I can guarantee that I wouldn't exchange my body with a single person on this planet. This is me, it's an integral part of myself. I wouldn't swap it with anyone. I wouldn't swap my gut bacteria, well, unless your gut bacteria are really good. I would like to add them to my intestines. But I wouldn't, like, I like this. I like how it is. I like myself. I don't give a fuck about being 5'5". I don't give a shit about looking like I'm a 16-year-old. I would glad to look like a 16-year-old when I'm 40. So why would I? Like, I've got a brain which functions correctly now. I've got a brain that can make sentences, can speak to people, can live life, have spiritual fulfillment, have purpose, I've got so many things now in life from just improving my health. And while every normal dumbass is still telling me that I'm torturing myself, they look at me like, oh bro, you exercising and stuff. I can go and climb a fucking mountain. I don't give a shit what you think about me. And today, while I'm the happiest I've ever was, the dudes who told me that I hated myself 3 years ago got fatter, got more depressed, have more brain fog, and cannot put two sentences together. Sometime into this journey, like at first it's hard, at first you may have this dark energy powering you. Yes, I hate you. Like, yes, I fucking hate you, dumbass. I'm gonna take your soul. I'm gonna be better than you. I'm gonna... Yes, it is like that at the beginning because you have to literally use dark energy. You don't have anything else. You're depressed, you're brain fogged, you're low energy. You need this energy to power your way out of this. But once you have achieved the escape velocity of transforming your life, you literally become a next level person. You just don't understand normal people anymore. Just like I don't understand people who still eat high ultra processed sugar foods because I don't think they're tasty. Like, honestly, I can cook such nice meals that I just don't enjoy all the stuff that normal people eat. Like, if I go to a McDonald's, like, bro, I'm gonna order water or something like that. I'm gonna order sparkling water. That's it. I don't want the food, bro. I just don't like it. It tastes like shit. That's what I believe. And the same comes to partying, doing late nights, pulling all-nighters and alcohol. I don't like this stuff because I live in a different stage. I literally live in a different universe compared to all these fat motherfuckers who are still saying, oh no, you hate yourself, bro. And all of this was only possible because I've put in the work. I've put in the work in the gym, I was disciplined in the kitchen, which is by far the single most important thing for me. Because I got sleep right pretty quickly and I got exercise right pretty quickly. But the diet, there is so much different advice online. People saying that you should only eat meat, or people who say that you should only eat vegetables. All of that bullshit stuff. Fucking fruitarians who die because they don't have enough protein. All of that stuff was so overwhelming to me that I just couldn't keep up with it. And it may be discouraging at the beginning because when you listen to all these influencers and all of a sudden you go from you're gonna be healthy if you don't eat sugar to if you eat broccoli you're gonna die within 5 years because there's isothiocyanates and they're gonna deprive you of iodine. All this stuff is just making your brain explode. You cannot, it's really hard to find quality research, especially when you're on social media. And so after years of researching this stuff, I've converged towards this diet, which I made myself, which I call the New Mediterranean diet. And this diet basically is based on one of the most proven healthy diets, which is Mediterranean, and it adds to it things from what our ancestors ate before we actually had agriculture. So you see, Mediterranean diet is already very good. It's based on a lot of vegetables, fiber, fruit, carbs, which come from healthy seeds and healthy vegetables. Some meat, some fish, some eggs, but not that much. And I didn't really agree with this side because I think that protein, and especially nowadays with new research which just came out, which proved that red meat is actually healthy when you eat it the right way, when you don't just eat some overly fatty steak from Wagyu cow. Instead, you find leaner cuts because you see, like ancestral dudes, they say you should eat meat because that's what people used to eat before agricultural revolution. Yes, that is true, but it doesn't come from an ultra fatty cow. The cow was selected by people with agriculture to be more fatty. The vast majority of meat which is found in nature is lean. It's under 5% fat. Things like bison, deer, I don't know what you eat in Africa, antelope, all of this stuff is very lean. It's very low fat. So saturated fat wasn't really a thing in our ancestor diet. It was a thing, but it wasn't like overwhelming amount of saturated fat. And this is what I didn't like about the carnivore community, and also didn't like the complete rejection of vegetables based on mechanistic research, because just because there is a molecule in broccoli which makes iodine not bioavailable to your thyroid doesn't mean that it's a net negative to your health. What you should look at is actually the randomized controlled trials which compare people who eat broccoli to the people who don't eat broccoli but they have the same baseline diet. And every single study proved that either there is a minimal improvement, like basically no difference, or there is a very strong improvement in health, reduction in insulin resistance, improvement in gut health, improvement in mood, and all of that stuff. So you should be careful when someone is talking about the mechanism and not the outcome. The outcome is always superior to just the mechanism, because every kind of food contains a molecule which is depriving you of some nutrients or creating some weird biochemical reaction. And if you eat it in a high dose or if you inject it intravenously, obviously you may have health problems from that. It doesn't mean that the food is a net negative to your health. So I've adopted this approach, and this allowed me to develop this new diet which has been such a game changer to my metabolic health, my brain health, my gut health, because all of this stuff is linked. There's no such thing as just improving your brain fog. Shit, I think I hit the microphone. There is no such thing as just fixing your brain fog without becoming healthy. All of this is linked together. Don't listen to all these carnivore influencers saying like, oh, my LDL cholesterol is 300 and I've never felt better. Yes, there are some people who actually have intolerances or indigestibility of certain products like broccoli or lactose or whatever. If your health markers show these weird anomalies, and even though you feel good right now, eventually your ultra strict lion diet is gonna kick you in the ass and you're not gonna like it, trust me. So yeah, if you would like to know more about this diet, check out my other videos, and it was an absolute game changer to me, so I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time.